beautiful souls. I can't believe that Samhain is just around the corner. Today, come with me as I discuss just a few extra measures that I take to make sure that only those spirits that I invite into my home come into my home this Halloween. In the embrace of Samhain's mystical allure, a time where shadows dance and spirits wander, my heart expands in anticipation. This sacred Sabbat, with its deep-rooted traditions and otherworldly energies, is a cherished moment in my spiritual journey. Over the years, I've become very adept in navigating the intricate realms of earthbound energies, of entities, the elusive dark forces, and even the capricious fae folk, the dragons and the odd galactic cousin. Yet, as the wheel of the year turns to the potent juncture where the veil betwixt the realms becomes thinner and thinner, a note of caution resonates with me. Samhain, while magical, is also a beacon for those who tread the veiled paths. And in this delicate balance of reverence and vigilance, I must ensure my sanctuary remains untouched by those who might be drawn to its light, ensuring that only those invited may grace its threshold. As the autumn leaves fall and the crisp chill takes over, Samhain marks a poignant time in the wheel of the year. It's now time, even more so than usual, to give gratitude and to honor our ancestors, to ensure that they've crossed over with the assistance of our wonderful deities. And as the veil between the realms thins, we must, of course, take a little extra care. But with this closeness comes both opportunity and responsibility. For some spirits, their intentions may not align with our own. This is why a little extra protection at this time of year can really make a difference. The ancient ritual of smudging has been a powerful tool for purification. Smudging cleanses spaces of negative energies, imperative before starting a ritual. But for those of you who are healers, who are working with the energies that are all around us, actually smudging and saging is part of our daily practice. But again, at Samhain, when the veil is at its thinnest, this is something that I want to take a little extra care doing. And whilst people will traditionally use sage or Palo Santo for cleansing the energies within their environment, I think it's very important to look what's growing locally, what's growing close to you. And it might be that you have some beautiful lavender in the garden, or some green or purple sage. Or like me, it might be that when you're on your morning walk, suddenly you realize for an eternity, you've been surrounded by an absolute abundance of mugwort. A mugwort with its silvery leaves and intoxicating aroma isn't just any herb. Spiritually, it's known for its power to enhance dreams, astral travel, and divination. It's a very protective, powerful herb that cleanses. It bridges the worlds, making it perfect at Samhain. And whilst you can buy smudging sticks, there is nothing more satisfying than creating a beautiful, powerful smudging stick to cleanse your own environment. So I encourage you to go out, to pick whatever herbs that you feel drawn to, and to create your own beautiful smudging stick for this time of year. Creating a smudging stick is a sacred act. Harvest the herbs or mugwort respectfully, expressing your intentions as you take each stem or stalk of your chosen herb. You might want to use a few herbs to create that beautiful essence of protection and cleansing. And once you've collected your chosen herbs for your smudging sticks, you can either use them as they are, just in the natural form, or you can dry them out. If you want to dry them out, you just merely need to put a little piece of twine around and then just hang it high up, perhaps in a room that you don't use often. You'll be banging your head on them, and just leave them for a week or so until they've dried out. I actually find it easier because when we make a smudging stick, they're relatively small. You wouldn't want to use wet herbs if it was a big thick bundle, but for just a small thin bundle, they dry out very quickly. And I actually find I can pull the twine much tighter and get a tighter bundle, which burns much better for me. So once you've collected your herbs, just give them a good shake. Just make sure that there are no little insects that are going to get a nasty shock or a surprise there. And if there's any caterpillars, just make sure that they're put back out in the garden where they belong. Go ahead and create your beautiful sacred space. You might want to light a candle or two. You might want to have some music on in the background, or you might just want to meditate on the process of making these beautiful smudging sticks. You just take about 12 strands of your chosen herb and put them horizontally just in front of you. And then just measure the twine. You usually need sort of 2 to 3 times the length of twine. And simply make a knot as you tie it around the herbs. Make a knot on one end and then just rotate the twine around the herbs, pulling tighter. And you can do this in a kind of crisscross shape until you get to the end. You may want to put a little piece of sage in there, or a little piece of lavender as well. And then just pull it really taut. That's it, and just knot it off. So once your smudging sticks are complete, just put them in a nice warm place to dry out, and they'll be fully dried within a few days. It won't take long to dry at all. And so the first thing that I would absolutely use these powerful smudging sticks for at this time of year when the veil is thinnest is clearing and cleansing the whole house. So the way that I would do this would be to light the smudging stick and really get into the nooks and crannies. So at this time of year, you want to be really getting into those little corners. Anything that looks a little bit dark, like something might be hiding there, just give it a really good sage at that point. So then you want to go ahead and get something. This is a solid, I think it's mango wood, but a very solid. Some people use the abalone shells, the shells. In the past, I've found that they can get quite hot, depending on what herbs you use, especially if you use mugwort. I can't feel the heat through it at all when I'm smudging and saging a home or property. So this works really, really well. And then go ahead and just enjoy. Walk into each room. And as you walk into each room, just make sure that you get in all the nooks and crannies and really give it a good dousing of smoke. This is why it's important that you get organic herbs. So if they're grown locally or you've grown them and you know that they haven't got any pesticides on, even better. Because if you're inhaling this, you don't want to be inhaling, things that are covered in pesticides. A good quality, organic or naturally grown without any pesticides or any of that nonsense is absolutely brilliant. Always close the door. You come in and smudge and sage the room, all the nooks and crannies, really thick smoke, and then go out and close the door and leave that room then for about 40 minutes to an hour, and then simply come in and open the windows. And you can do all the rooms systematically just to make sure that everything is clear, everything is cleansed, and you'll feel the beautiful energy rise. You'll feel the difference. As you continue to smudge, just put your intent into the bundle of herbs. See the bright light in those dark corners of the room. See that negativity being removed out into the universe and transmuted into something positive. Now, the next thing that I absolutely make sure that I do around Samhain and monthly, but particularly around Samhain, is to ensure that all my mirrors are firmly closed down, revered and feared. Mirrors reflect far more than our image. Through the ages, they've been seen as doorways, as portals, especially during times when the veil is at its thinnest. We need to ensure that no unsolicited energies linger all pass through. So to start this process, we're going to use the beautiful smudging stick that we made earlier and cleanse all around the mirror, making sure that if there's any energies lingering around, they do one. I want to make sure that that mirror and all the area around it is completely cleared and cleansed. And then take a clean lint cloth, and I'm going to use some moon water here. And moon water is a very precious, powerful water that's made on the full moon usually. Very simple. You simply fill a receptacle of beautiful water and place it out under the full moonlight and ask for those wonderful, powerful, protective energies of the moon to infuse in the water. And for this process, you might also choose to put some herbs in the water, perhaps some rosemary or bay or lavender, whatever you choose, whatever herbs resonate with you with regard to protection. You can go ahead and infuse those into the water too. I would not recommend putting salt in the water, especially with a mirror. It can cause corrosion. So at this point, I would simply use the moon water, and then I would use herbs to accentuate that beautiful, powerful healing water. And go ahead and wipe all the mirror down. Just wipe the mirror down, cleaning and cleansing, putting your intent into that process. And then just drying that mirror off. Beautiful. And then we take the same water, the same moon water. And for me, I just gently dip my finger in the water, and I'm going to create a sigil on the mirror. A sigil, for me, that's a sign or a symbol that means something. So for me, the first sigil that I do means no entry, not coming in and not going out. And I place this symbol on my mirrors. It means that they are closed, completely and utterly closed. I'm also going to put on there a symbol of protection. For me, that symbol is the pentagram, and I surround it within a ring of fire. It's a very protective symbol for me. And on the back of the mirror, I'm also going to place a family sigil that we use to make sure that no uninvited guests come into the home. So I'm just going to place this on the back of the mirror. Now, whilst the sigils that I've drawn on the mirror will stay in place until the next time I clean the mirror, where I have to reinstate them, the sigil on the back of the mirror will need to be re-energized on a more frequent basis. So I tend to do that at the same time I'm cleaning the mirror. And finally, I place the family sigil, the seal, so that no uninvited guests may enter the threshold. I place this over the front door after I've cleared and cleansed the front door in exactly the same way. Symbols and sigils, each a powerful testament to ancient wisdom. They aren't mere drawings, but protective barriers, ensuring that the mirror remains just that, a mirror. Samhain is a dance of shadows and light, a ballet of gratitude and protection. As we tread this sacred juncture, let our hearts be light and homes be sanctuaries. In this season of remembrance, may we be both the guardians and the guides. Have a very happy Samhain. Blessed be.